Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our adult Bible class. It's good to see you. We're on our last section here, last chapter for our study of Paul's letter to the Galatians. And I don't have a handout today. I will have all my notes up on the website. I didn't get that all done this week because of confirmation. And I'm doing things just a little bit different for confirmation this year. Because of COVID, we didn't have the students read their testimonies in our Lenten services. So I think this will actually work out a little better. They're pretty nervous about doing that, and sometimes it's hard to understand them and talk, as they talk. And so what I've done this year is I've just taken some excerpts out of their testimonies, and I'm going to share them as I go by each one and I'll give them their Bible verse, but I'll also share maybe a little paragraph or whatever out of their testimony. So I spent a little time working on that and making sure everything was ready to go. Also, just as a little housekeeping detail, next week Ryan Mazer will be leading our class, and I see Ryan and Carrie are coming in right now here. And I think call day is this week, I believe. So he'll be finding out where he'll be going to serve, as well as Brian Holman, Marty and Pam's son-in-law. So we'll be anxious. Ryan, is call day Tuesday? Wednesday, okay. So, and you can watch that online, I think, right? Yep. So maybe we'll tune in and see where the Lord is going to lead you in your lives, right? It's always a joyful time and a time of great faith, because you have to have faith to be. How would you guys like to do that? How would you like to do that? Like, okay, Wednesday, I have no idea where I'm going to be going, but Wednesday's going to come, and who knows? I might be up in North Dakota, or maybe I'm somewhere in Missouri. I have no idea where life's going to take me, where God's going to take me, but I'll trust Him. That's really kind of special. So we'll be remembering you guys in our prayers for that. So this is Galatians. Oh, one other little housekeeping detail. Jeannie Lomax reminded me this week that this bill that's the one for sex education. Both of them. Okay, so I called our representative, Katie Stewart, and left a message. And basically my gist of my message was, why are you I read through the bill carefully, and the one on sex education, and I noted, the goal was that they want to get rid of shaming, and they want a good outcome sexually for youth. And so there's parts of the bill that are good, like we got to do things about abuse, sexual abuse, and you need to report that, and we need to have ways to try to stop that from happening. That's a good role of government right there, to curb evil. So those parts of the bill weren't necessarily too bad, but there were other parts that, again, they don't want to shame anybody. They don't want to. But my message was, well, aren't you shaming in many ways the Christian view of marriage? You keep saying disparaging things about it, like it's a stereotype and causes discrimination and things like that. And so, and if I could have a longer conversation with any of those politicians, my biggest question would be, so I understand this is public school, this isn't Christian school, and you can't come down necessarily on one moral side or the other moral side. People have different views of morality. But how are teachers going to be trained to create a free discussion Could a student, for example, say, I think homosexual behavior is wrong. I think it's immoral and unhealthy. Would that child be shamed? Would a teacher who dares to say such a thing be fired? See the difference? And that's the point I'm trying to make. In a free country with freedom of speech, I understand that you have to allow people in the public square, to have their opinions about things, but that's not what they want. They want their opinion to be the opinion, and that, I think, is the problem. Yeah, so that's another thing to watch. It's hard to, you can't really see those in the bill. They say it's all age appropriate, but how do we really know that for sure? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I looked at one of those, and one of the lesson plan, this is lesson plan for kindergartners, okay? They're going to teach kindergartners that you don't have to have boy parts to be a boy, and you don't have to have girl parts to be a girl. They're teaching transgenderism and explaining what it is, and that to them, that's age appropriate. That's what people need to know about. Anyway, so we need to keep working on that. And of course, the segue here is the only real way to defeat that is really to spread the gospel and to pray that God would open people's hearts and minds to the truth of the Word of God and to reality. And that's what we have the opportunity to do always as Christians, and to let our gospel light shine before the world. And so